Let's get loud. Dun, dun, dun. That's your kind of music, right? Most treasured stories is...
How much is the fish?
They've got a bit of a half watch on, right? They're still sort of keeping them aware, but can he get the right body? No, he does! He gets the double down! Oh, he can't quite secure the third, but look at the drop. The momentum taken out. Fine, they don't get the kill. That's 10, 15 seconds removed out of that. The sort of dedication towards the drop has to be pulled out. 10 seconds. There's a 4 versus 2, but how much of that was that young superstar that was so heralded when he first came in? As now the finals tick away and Loud took up their first. Into a progression. Because it's also the split of the idea of, you know, it is Clubhouse. It is one that gets itself further through. STK is able to get the first. There is Gabu. And there is those keeper barricades removed.
In terms of time management, it's really solid. This should be a freebie onto the mirror. No, somehow Raps loses that, but it's very swiftly traded out. So it's still okay. But look at this live. No way. Oh my word. He could be on for 2 here, maybe.
I mean, are we on for another big backstab there? In the meantime, getting 1. There's the swing. He's able to somehow secure 2. Great. And then he pulls away. Brilliant. It's a 2 versus 2 now. They try and put the man onto the side. Doesn't matter because they get dropped either side. This 2 rounds and that, not the best start. You sort of wonder how much momentum is going to build up for them. Look at this pace, though. Angels is in. Knocked right back out, as is STK.
Hello?
Well, actually, STK... Angels survives even. The smoke canisters will stop them immediately chasing up. Great take. They're inside the site, sort of. When I say sort of, because the pressure is encircling them. They're going to go for the plant. Rolling the drone out. Arthur's just going to hold on for now. They're sort of baiting the utility, but nothing's been cemented. Instead, the C4 just comes over the top, and now it's going to encircle the 4 versus 2. They have the idea on where the player is, but they're just going to try and force the fight, but they can't. There's the shotgun, there's the lockout, and there is 3 rounds, Demo.
Well, it's a lash out, isn't it, of a round. INTZ have tried something really off the cuff. They've tried to flood their way in through main stairs via the main stairs window. I mean, they were successful in getting that, being in steadily control. I think they've been catching, obviously, INTZ by surprise quite a bit.
Draw some attention in 2 minutes, and you can see, you know, he's got the hatch to drop. Oh, is he going to make it? Resets does get STK. In the meantime, they're going to see if they can close down. They've got the drop, they've got the escape, but they don't have the kill. Arthur had to send for it with the grenade because they needed to stop it. At the same time, the defense is set up for what has sort of pre-placed. Their eyes on towards the bottom of main. The flash will get them a drive in. It's a trade out on the other side, but it's resets and flash. 3 smokes, 2 C4s. That's enough to carry them over the close, but the crash seems to start turning into a bang and a wallop right up red stairs. 4 versus 3. They make sure that they at least trade out the body, but as Gabbett suffers the next bit of damage, have they done enough to get themselves towards the plant spot? More blinds. Oh, that C4 almost got 2 of them, but not quite enough. Big swing round on the top. There it is. The plant are down, but 20 seconds they can still convene and INTZ get themselves there first.
Oh, almost. C4. Pretty close to legacy, but able to dodge away just in the nick of time. It's just this clear out. Oh dear, what you hate to see. You've got a gridlock for flank protection, and he's climbed up the oil pit ladder and killed your teammate in rafters. Oh dear.
So I said that, you know, I wanted a gridlock. They doubled down on it. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. Angel's able to get 1 more, but that's 3. Gabbard, he opened up with that sort of flank round on the main stairs, and then things changed. At this point now, waiting and watching as STK tries to pop a couple of shots either side, but
that won't complicate comms in the middle of this. What will we get on the other side? Mira.
This from live, they're straight down dirt tunnel already, and oh, it's a rough one. He thinks he's kind of taking the initiative. I'll get down there quick.
holding on now. Ooh, I say holding on. There's the take on towards Angels. Gone, removed. Steadily just clearing through utility here. They're concerned about strip still. Concerned about whatever that was. Resets.
Doesn't look to be the case. 30 seconds. Maybe this is where not having the shield is going to hinder them a little bit. Now it's just going to be guns up, and that's an easy one for Step. Oh, big old whiff. Never mind. Step before it over dead. The rights and Legacy finds another. What on earth has just left? And now Reset's going to try and take up the mantle of hunting below. So this was the call. They've heard that there's 2 players below a C4, so that's where they're waiting. That's why they don't want to go for the plant until they deal with that. But whenever you lose Resets, those 2 players are still going to be a bit of an issue. Legacy finds another, and Loud, they've obviously slowed down to try and deal with these C4s, but because of that, they just stalled out entirely. They need to try and get this plant stuck.
Well, they weren't able to get it stuck. Everybody has fallen apart, and yeah, the sort of sit back and retake plan has worked wonders. 1 versus 2 here inside the middle of the site. Now, I say they know roughly where 1 is, but it doesn't matter. It's gone. How much of the approach has gone? How much of the sort of first step in? Was it a reliance or was it just an assistance? And here, as the second body drops, and well, not quite the third, they scream their way up red. They've at least been able to wrest some control. They forced them back in towards Garage. They realized they couldn't take it against the Clash, retook some of the ground instead, but at the same time, that's just been a second strike. Swung around, a bit of a cross back and forth. There's still these trade outs, but the Clash has this power position, has the shield up, has the kit down at their feet, and has 8 seconds to try and survive. There's one more. SDK holding on all that's left, drifting through the plant. On the other side of the Clash shield, they've got to drift across the opening, and Flashtree.
So at that point, you lose that shield. You're down to about 40 seconds. And really, for Loud, they had nothing.
Now they're aware they're being tracked, but where do you go? Do you try and slip your way out? You're wasting utility. You know they're just going to track you further and further. Go back to that fight. That was the worst. Oh. Well, there's a swing back and around. Live is able to get wrapped. Perfect possible time. Well, there's the perfect possible time. No, crossed out. Instantly traded the Clash, trying to put some distance.
Blinded out. Little shotgun through the wall. Yep, an easy pick on the SDK. But still, that Clash, that's the issue. How do you deal with that shield? Flashtree, really nice, but still a 1v2, and Clash can just work this like a mirror window. So easy for him. Player down. Flashtree has to make a move. It's just going to be slow. He has to just try and find this pick, but Clash can just wait for the perfect moment. Yeah, very, very simple for Arthur. Nice 1v2 cleanup.
Towards OT of like, oh, the one that they won, we won it this time. There's a Blackbeard, though, that's immediately trying to make a friend, and, well, the coverage is there. Up on towards the door itself. The Clash drops down. They're going to swing out and try and put the pressure on towards the Capitao, but not quite able to get the full read on it. Instead, Flashtree goes down, as does Resets, but it's traded out. They're going for the plant, though, Demo. They're going to see if they can try and get that stuck in. They drew all the focus elsewhere, and they've been able to do a little bit of a daylight robbery here.
Yeah, really smartly played from Loud. They've realized there's 2 guys in Rafters, 2 guys in towards Garage. Let's just flood through the breach. Remember, they've reinforced both of the walls. They don't have the head holes and Rafters to try and hold those players rushing the breach. You kill the guy's site, and all of a sudden, the site's yours, and you can go for the plant.
Legacy does get 1. 3 versus 2, but they still have the Blackbeard, and they still have the cross being watched outside. They can just utilize this position. Gabri does brilliantly, and that just leaves a Clash alone, but not for long. Loud! Oh,
Come on in, Resets. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Love the hair. It's all there. It's just, I'm so jealous of it. Anyways, congratulations on the win, all 3 points. And I have to ask you, the elephant in the room, why Clubhouse a 3rd time?
Because it was like their permabum. They never played Clubhouse, and we already played 2 on the last games, and we know like what was our mistake, something like that. So yeah, that's why.
Is it also an opportunity to not show any extra strats for any future matches you might play?
It was like more for because it was like their permabum, just for that.
All right.
Yeah, I guess we could see the difference in depth in play between the 2 of you. And I don't know if you heard me before, as I was stating, like that very last round I was impressed by. And if you can just rewatch that one more time, I thought that you guys spotted the weakness perfectly well there, like baiting that you're going to take Garage here. That's you. You're the bait. So can you talk to me about, what was the play here? Was it all a bait? Were you supposed to grab attention so that the guys rush site?
Yeah, sure. Because in Brazil, we say like it's like an alien threat. We never saw nothing like that, like Clash Garage, something like that. So live, just say, guys, let's bait Garage, and then we rush bomb. So yeah.
Very good call from Live here. Like, is he the main IGL that makes this call all the time, or all of you can make this kind of
Nah,
shot call?
It's live. It's live. Most of the time, it's live.
Honestly, I was wondering what was happening in your head when you're going from a 5-1 lead and then INTZ wins round 7 and they win round 8 and then they also win round 10 and the comeback was starting and then you have the tag timeout. Can you tell us more about what happened in the tag timeout? What did you guys discuss to make sure you were closing the game?
We was struggling in the first attacks because, as I said, they start to man, it's so very, very weird. Like the gym, the clash is very weird. So we had a tactile pause because we just need to play our games. We are seeing a lot of things in mid round. So yeah, just play our games. We need to talk what we are seeing. So yeah.
Very good. Resets tomorrow. Might be able to see you play against Team Liquid Alienware. Would you like to say anything to them ahead of that game?
Yeah, just good luck. Have fun.
There you go. Former team, I guess. Former team in the day. Thank you very much, Resets. Congratulations on all 3 points today. Have a good night.
Thank you.
By beating weaker opponents that are supposed to be their rivals, they're slowly but surely cementing that they're different from INTZ. They're different from a team like Imperial, for example. And that they sit right now in the middle of the table for SAL. And that they can contend with the playoffs. And so this is exactly the kind of win that they need in terms of building their confidence.
But Legacy on the other side is still the one that's doing all the work. Live, as you see, he's taking a little nap. But if he can do all of this, lead and top the scoreboard as he's napping with his eyes closed, then I think he's going to have a good